Welcome back to the program. The prices of commodity agri products are still on the high side, no thanks to a combination of factors. How did we get to where we are? Inflation data for the month of April is due out later this week. Some forecasts looking at something in the north of 13%. Adakonombi is a senior investment officer at financial derivatives company. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're always here to talk to us about the markets. Good morning.
Good morning,
thank you very much. We appreciate your coming. Okay, so rising food prices remain. How do we get here? It's pretty simple, isn't it?
It is pretty simple. Everyone knows food prices are increasing. It's been this trend since the beginning of the year anyway, or realistically, it's been this way since the forex restriction has been, was put in place. And now, as we go along the day, as every day goes by, we still have that very scarcity of forex. So that is feeding into most food prices because almost all that we consume in Nigeria have a certain element of foreign content in it, or they are all imported from other countries. So the scarcity of forex, the forex restriction or trade restrictions are causing food prices to be high. And again, the seasonal changes as well. This is planting season. Typically in Q3, Q2, this is a planting season. But then towards Q1 and Q2 is planting season, then towards Q4 and Q5 we have the harvest season. So perishable food items towards that time of the year typically goes down. So for now, this is we expect high food prices, and consumers are complaining because this has gone on for too long. There's been a steady or constant increase in prices. There is no increase in disposable income. So for example, if minimum wage is 18,000 naira, a bag of rice now is 17,000 naira. So you can imagine what everyone on the street are going through, and about 61% of Nigerians live below poverty line. So it is a biting issue right now.
A very biting issue. Consumer demand going down. Is there, in any way, those of you who are analysts, trying to squeeze in the level of rising insecurity? Yes, we had it in Northeast. Then we had in North Central. So we're talking about tomato, and a few other things, watermelon, whatever from there. They had a middle belt, which has the food basket. Then you're now coming down south. Is the headsmen, the militants, whatever, those violent activities, are they started being factored in as responsible for, well, concerns from traders, farmers, and what have you about prices of goods going higher?
So the clash between the Fulani headsmen and farmers will begin to affect food prices in the long run. But for now, I don't think that's been factored in. I think the main issue now, like I said earlier, is the forex scarcity, which is beginning to ease out anyway. But it seems like the queues are back on. But if this carries on, because what happens is you have the cattle going into farmlands and destroying a crop product. So that in turn is threatening food production and availability and output. So I don't think that is what is affecting prices as it is. But if this carries on, if this goes on for longer, it will begin to reflect in food prices. So it will make things worse off, going forward.
We woke up this morning and fuel queues came back all across Lagos.
Yeah.
And I thought, have we been out of the town for some days?
That's very interesting because yesterday there were no queues at Ikoyi, but this morning queues started coming back up again, so I don't understand.
So if we put diesel, petrol prices and all that back there, expectations that our fuel prices will go higher, perhaps 130 for petrol. Do you think this is not good news for inflation? We're expecting April already, and May is already creeping in.
Definitely, that will affect inflation figures in this month actually, because the fuel scarcity stayed on for a while. But the good news is the budget has been signed. Would expect to see some sort of economic activity go on, and if a lot of investment has been put in infrastructure, you expect to see some sort of increase in manual labor, and we're expected to see a rise in employment. So that means there's going to be some sort of increase in purchasing power, and consumers' disposable income will increase somewhat. So that's the positive side of things.
So you investment analysts are positive that the budgetary spending will stimulate some consumption, some spending.
It will stimulate consumption, but however, there's still the issue of salary arrears. So I don't think that will...
Or the backlog.
The backlog,
Yes.
exactly. The backlog in salaries, but I don't think that will have any significant effect on states being able to pay up salaries. So that issue still remains. And yes, it is a cycle, but at least the budget has been passed. Economic activities are expected to pick up. But then that will put pressure on the currency, because if the budget has been passed, if you expect activities to pick up, especially in construction, manufacturing, we need to import raw materials into the country. And if we need to import raw materials into the country, that means pressure on the FX. On the FX. So it is something we need to weigh.
Either way, we can't escape foreign exchange.
We can't escape foreign exchange, no, because realistically, we need we import a lot of raw commodity, raw materials into the country. We're not in that space yet to be able to produce raw material, so we need to import.
Even for infrastructure, we
even
don't really have much.
Even for infrastructure, exactly.
Yes.
So this is I mean, the MPC meeting is coming up
next week.
No, on the 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah, towards the end.
Am I ahead of the time?
Next week,
am I ahead of the time?
Inflation figures are on the 18th.
Yes.
Then MPC is on the 23rd, thereabout.
Yes.
So towards the end of the month. So I hope they will address the key issues, especially the rising inflationary pressure that we're having at the moment, because it's beginning to affect all Nigerians across.
Why do I have the MPC locked somewhere in my brain? Yeah, because it looks like something I never forget on my calendar. Why would I forget? We're in the same business.
There's a lot happening.
We're in finance. Thank you very much, Ada. We appreciate you coming through.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ada Konobi, Senior Investment Officer at Financial Derivatives.